Cleaning Nation, welcome to another episode of the Grow My Cleaning Company podcast. In case you have forgotten since the last time we did the show, I wanted to remind you, you are amazing. You guys are doing such a good job of sharing the show, for giving such great reviews on iTunes, the kind of feedback that you give me personally. That is what keeps us going. Remember, if you're listening to the podcast, we also have a YouTube channel that's totally free. Go check it out, subscribe, make comments. I try to respond to every one of them. If you are watching us on YouTube and want to take us on the road with you, subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. No matter where you're listening, get everything that we offer to help you grow your cleaning company at growmycleaningcompany.com. As soon as the show's over, go check it out. There's all sorts of good stuff there. Today, we are chatting with Lamories from A&A Commercial Cleaning. A&A has been serving the Lexington, Kentucky area for 22 years. If you want to reach out to Lamories and his team, you can get a hold of them at www.aacommercialcleaningllc. Lamories, welcome to the show.
Good morning. Good morning.
Glad
Thank you.
man.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, my pleasure. So tell us a little bit about you. You're in Lexington, Kentucky. You got family. You got fish. What's going on in your life?
Well, I got my business. I'm spending a lot of time doing my business. I'm trying to get it to grow. I'm working a lot. I'm getting employees after employees. I'm a fisherman as well. I need to take time out so I can do fishing, but that's kind of hard when I'm running my business.
I get that. Are you a fisherman for money or a fisherman for fun?
For fun.
Oh, okay.
For fun and eat.
those are both good reasons to fish, my friend. So what got you into? You've been in the cleaning business 22 years. That's fantastic. What got you into it in the first place?
I was working for the University of Kentucky, as a young man coming up, and from there I worked there 4 years, and I started sometime about 89, 90.
Okay, and so you just what made you get in the cleaning business?
Well, as a young child, my mother used to make us clean the house up every Saturday morning. We cleaned, and I hated it, but it was instilled in me, so it just grew with me.
So I don't know if your mom's like my mom, but I would have gotten a big "I told you so" when I went into clean. When she always made me clean. I told you I didn't want to, and then I went into it for business. She's like, "See, looks like I taught you something, boy."
Sure. Now my mother had 4 boys. This is the only thing that really, I'm the one that really took it up.
All right, so
it's doing me well.
Hopefully that means hopefully that means you're her favorite. No.
No.
It's good to take more than that.
Not at all.
Well, cool. Let's see if we can't help you get where you want to go, man. What's going on in your world? What can I help you with in your business today?
Well, trying to reach 6 figures, and there's something I'm not. There's things I'm not doing that I need to do to reach that 6 figures. Someone told me, Lamories, if you're not making 6 figures, you're not doing anything. That's 6 figures.
I don't know if I go that far. We got to, it's up to you. You got to pick your own goals. But when you say 6 figures, are you talking gross revenue for the company or profit for you personally? Just so we're all on the same page.
Gross for the company.
Okay. So if you want to do $100,000 a year, that means you got to do about $8,000 a month, 8 or 9,000. Where are you at now? Just so I know how far we got to go.
About 6,000 right now.
Okay, so that's 70,000. You only need to grow 30% to get there. Is that a fair assumption?
Okay, yes.
Okay, so that's not a problem. So there's really 2 things that you need to do to be able to grow a company at this stage, and even, up to sometimes even $1 million. There's 2 big systems that you need: a client attraction system and an employee attraction system. And of course, certainly we need operational systems on how to clean and do payroll, but most people don't have as many issues with those as they do. How do I get the good employees to come and stay? And how do I get the good customers to come and stay? Is that a fair kind of picture, probably where you're at?
Good assumption, yes.
Okay. And give me, just so I know where to focus, are you having more trouble with getting employees or getting customers? Or is it about equal?
Customers. Okay. Clients.
Good. So here's the big thing that most folks miss, and it seems the opposite of what would be common sense, but having done this for 20 years and had probably more than my share of success, this is the way to go. So many people that want to grow fast want to take on as much opportunity as they can. So they will do either multiple businesses, or they'll take anybody that's got money and they'll say, well, I've got my residential part humming, and I've got my, on the commercial, I've got a couple churches, I got a couple doctors, I got a couple that, and they've got like, 7 plates spinning, and they're trying to run them all. The problem is you can't add an 8th plate because it's all going to come crashing down and they get stuck. So
yes.
the way to fix that is, instead of have 8 plates spinning in different on 8 sticks in 8 different places and trying to run back and forth, you want to start stacking your plates so they're all in one spot. You can just focus on that. And that's called a niche. So what you really want to do is narrow your focus. And it's just impossible for companies of our size, less than hundreds of $millions like Coca-Cola. It's impossible for us to get any attention in the market without just millions and millions of dollars and decades of time, because there's just so many people out there. The way to fix that is say, well, I'm not going to be a hero. I'm sure there's lots of business guys that help businesses that are way more popular or famous than I am. But in the little tiny space of owners of cleaning companies, I'm kind of a big deal. And that didn't take very long. So we want to do the same thing with you. Instead of trying to be known in all of Kentucky as the guy that cleans every single commercial space, high rises, condos, gyms, restaurants, daycares, churches, on and on, car dealerships. Instead of being that guy, which will take you forever and you're never gonna have any luck, you want to be the guy that's just known. I'll pick one. If you're a daycare owner in Lexington, Kentucky, everybody knows A&A Cleaning is the way to do that. Does that make sense? So you really focus on one market and they all know you, as opposed to trying to focus on everyone and none of them know you.
Okay.
Well,
do I need to spend more money to try to get business, or is it a money thing?
It can be. That's a prickly pear, because what I do, there's 2 things I want to say, and they sound similar, and I want to make sure. And one's is an absolute no, and one's an absolute yes. So let me be clear, so I don't lead you or the listeners down the wrong path. 90+% of the folks I coach are not spending enough money on client attraction. I like to see 5 to 10%. If you want to be a high growth company, if you're happy with where you're at, you want to just stick, then spend whatever you're spending. No, don't listen to me. Now, however, if you're like, no, I want to grow and I want to grow fast, then 30% growth in a year is, or 6 months, or however long you want to take to get 6 figures, that can be high growth. So I'd like to see you spending 5 to 10% of your income or your revenue from the company on advertising. So that if you're doing $6,000 a month, that'd be $300 to $600 a month. So that's the first half of what we do want to be doing. And I like it as a percentage, not as a dollar figure. Because for you, $500 a month might be an appropriate figure. For some of my customers doing $5 million a year, $500 would be ridiculous, right? It would be much larger. Yeah. So that's why I like the percentage. And if you just keep that percentage, you just get used to 10% of my budget every month goes to attracting clients. And as you grow, that budget grows and it never seems to cost you anything because it's always there. So that's what I am saying. You do want to invest time and money in client attraction. And for the record, you have to do both. You can do one or the other, but you have to do at least one. So if you don't have any money, like when you're starting out, if you're like, I don't have, my budget's 0, I don't have any revenue, so 5 to 10% of nothing is nothing, then you're going to have to spend a lot more time than money. As you get larger, once you're doing a couple $1 million, the owner generally is not spending any time on client attraction. It's all money. So if you don't have the 3 to 5 or 3 to 600 or the 5 to 10% for marketing, you're just going to have to double up on the time that you spend. So that said, that's what I am saying. Yes, you need to spend time.
You mean by working a lot?
Well, by working on client attraction, not by working a lot, working on client attraction. Right. There's a difference between cleaning and taking care of accounts and buying vacuums and paying bills and doing payroll and all the things that we need to do. If you want to attract clients and you can't spend 5 or 10% of your money, or you're so small that 5 to 10% isn't a very big budget, then that just means you're going to need to put some elbow grease into it as well, right? Like you can pay someone to hang door hangers, or you can hang them yourself. You can pay someone to do telemarketing, or you can do it yourself. You can pay someone to make a website and do search engine optimization, or you can do it yourself. So all the stuff that's going to attract clients, you either got to pay somebody to do it or you got to do it. And if you don't know how to do it, then you have to learn how to do it and then do it. That said, here's the key. What I don't want to hear, what I don't want anyone to hear me saying is just throw money at it. It's okay. Because there's a lot of listeners out there, and maybe this is you as well, Lamories, that are like, I spent money on advertising. The Yelp guy came through and I gave him $500 a month for 2 months and I didn't get nothing, or I got bad reviews and it screwed me, or I spent money on Google AdWords or flyers or postcards or search engine optimization or whatever the case, Facebook ads, whatever it is, and it didn't work. So the key is, yes, you need to spend money on client attraction, but that's like step 3. If you start with that as step 1 and just randomly throw a dart out there, here's some money, direct mail guy, or there's plenty of advertisers out there, they'll take your money. If you start there, you're going to have that result oftentimes of, I spent that money and it didn't work. So that's not where we want to start. The first place we need to start is, who is my niche, right? Just like I mentioned to you specifically.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it car dealers or is it daycare centers? Because guess what? When you go, where should I advertise? I don't know. Where does your customer go, right? If you advertise for car dealers in a daycare trade show, you're not going to have any luck. But if you're trying to pick up daycare customers and you're at a trade show just for daycare owners, guess what? You're going to have a lot better response. If you try to advertise for daycare owners on a blog specifically for car dealerships, you're not going to have very much luck. Now, however, if you're advertising on a blog for car dealerships and you want car dealerships, now you've got some connections. So first and foremost, you've got to pick a niche. That's why you have to pick a niche, right? If you just try and say, well, I'm going to go with Google AdWords and I'm just going to advertise to the world, well, you better have the biggest budget in your area, because the guy that's doing $5 million is going to have a budget of $3,000 a month, and a guy that he pays $1,000 a month to manage that budget, you're not going to have any luck competing with him. But if you say, I'm just going to look for car dealerships, you can absolutely compete with him on car dealerships or restaurants or golf courses or whatever your niche is. It doesn't really matter. You're going to be able to compete with him. So that niche is the first and foremost important thing, especially if you're on a limited time or budget. The second thing is, once you know who you're selling to, you've got to find out what message is compelling, right? Even if you put a crappy ad right in front of a lot of car dealers or golf courses or whoever your niche is, you're not going to get results. So many people start with the, where should I advertise? Wrong question, or the right question at the wrong time. That's the thing you need to answer, like number 3 or 4. Number 1 is, who's my niche? Number 2 is, what is their pain? What pain can I solve for them? That's the compelling message that you're going to give them. If you start talking about, we're A&A, we've been in business 20 years, we got good employees, we're insured, we're a green cleaner, we, they don't care about you at all. And they've heard that same pitch 100 times from other cleaners. If you start talking about them, you demand a cleaning service that understands the specific needs of restaurants, and how if your restaurant isn't clean, that's going to keep people coming in less often, and how your staff is going to get sick, and how that's all about them. And I'm making up their pain, but if you have restaurant owners as your target market, you're going to know their pain, right? Like I know more than anyone on the face of the earth about the pain of owners of cleaning companies. I just do, because I talk to dozens of them every month. That's all I do, day in and day out. Again, if you said, what's the pain of a guy trying to run a CPA firm? I don't know. I've never run a CPA firm, and I don't really talk to those folks. If I tried to write marketing or advertising copy that was appealing to CPAs, I'd probably do a lousy job, quite frankly. But if you want me to attract owners of cleaning companies, I could do a phenomenal job, because I know you're paying better than you do oftentimes. So step 1 is to pick a niche. Step 2 is to understand their pain and create a message that will respond to that pain in a compelling way. Step 3 is to put that message where they're going to see it, like we talked about earlier, right? You find out where the golf course folks go to solve their problem of their facilities management, and that's where you're going to put your ad. So that's probably about enough for one episode. Just to kind of frame it out or outline it again. So for anyone that missed it, step 1 is pick a niche, and if you don't pick a niche, the rest of this stuff's just not going to work as well or at all. Step 2, understand their pain and create a message that responds to that pain in a way that's appealing to that specific niche. Use the words that they use. Like I owned a car dealership for a while, so I know that we wouldn't talk about, in most businesses, we talk about profit. Dealerships talk about gross. That's just how it is. They don't call customers or prospects. They call them ups. So if I'm using marketing for that industry, I'm going to want to use that terminology. So they get, oh, this guy's one of me. He understands me, and I'm going to have a lot better by
knowing how they talk.
But speaking the way they speak, right? So you got, if you're doing a college campus, they use, a lot of government entities use a lot of abbreviations, and you want to make sure that you use those abbreviations so they feel comfortable.
Okay.
So again, pick your niche, understand their pain, create a message that that they'll respond to, that's appealing to them using their language, and then put that message in a place that they go to solve that pain. That's pretty much it. So the where do I advertise and can I spend more money advertising? The answer is yes. You should spend money to attract clients if you want to grow, but you have to answer those first questions. Where's my niche? What's their pain? And where do they go to solve that pain? Once you answer those questions, then you have the answer to where should I advertise, as opposed to just going to the Yelp guy. Well, guess what? If you're trying to get car dealerships, I don't know if they Yelp cleaners. I just don't, right? Like, if you've got a residential, if you're like, hey, high-end single males that are, have expensive homes and want them cleaned, maybe Yelp's their bag. So it's not that Yelp's good or bad. A lot of people, I tried Yelp, it sucks. It's not that it sucks or doesn't suck. It's that either the customer that you're looking for wasn't there, or you put up a message that wasn't appealing. Either way, that's not Yelp's problem. It's your problem. So that's the formula. Any questions before we hit the lightning round? I give you the opportunity to share some of your experience.
I understand that we want to target what industry that I'm pursuing and find out what their whether advertise or how can I attract them, where can I attract them at?
Yeah, where do they go to solve their pain, right? So you say, the cleaning company you've got now, how'd you find them? And if they quit or you fired them, where would you go to replace them? Those are the two questions I ask my customers to know, right? And that's not going to be 100% answer, but it's a great place to start. It's probably more information than you've got now. And again, if you don't even know your niche, well, you ask the church guy, he's going to tell you one thing. You ask the guy that, is a property manager, he's going to tell you something different. So once you've got a niche, you can ask 4 or 5 or 6 people in your niche, and you start hearing the same answer over and over. Bullseye, you know where you're supposed to advertise. All right, let's hit the lightning round. I'm going to take a break and give you the opportunity to share. Question number 1, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Well, knowing how to pursue the market and to target the clients.
Okay, beautiful. You've been doing this for 22 years, so I'm guessing you've made probably as many mistakes as the rest of us, probably more than people that have just been in business for not so long. And we want to learn from you. What's the biggest mistake you've made in the cleaning business that we can kind of all look out for and try and avoid?
I feel kind of dumb saying it that when a person told me that if I'm not making 6 figures, then I'm not making any money. And I've been in business for this long and I have not made it, and so I feel kind of dumb that I have not made it.
Oh, let me encourage you, Lamories. First of all, I don't care what they say. You got to get your goals. And if you say, I want to make $1,000 for myself, and start with what you want to make personally, right? I coach businesses making $1 million a year that are making no profit, right? So that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. If you're not making 6 figures gross sales, you ain't done nothing. Screw him and his opinion. We don't give nothing about that. What we need to answer is, how much money do you personally need to make? And then you figure, well, what kind of company do I need to build to accommodate me? So don't listen to that guy and his dumb 6-figure metric. If you want to make $50,000 for yourself personally, well, in the cleaning business, at least $100,000 in revenue is probably not going to get you there. So you need more revenue. I'm okay with that, but you just got to tie your goals and be like, here's what I need personally. Here's what I want my life to look like. Here's the time I'm willing to spend. Here's the money I want to make, and then reverse engineer that and build the business that will supply that for you. In addition to that, don't feel stupid. You're learning. You're getting coached right now. So the stupid thing is to keep doing the same thing, expecting different results. But if you say, hey, I've been doing this 22 years, I haven't got the result that I want, I'm going to get some help, I'm going to get some coaching, I'm going to learn and change and get better, then that you're doing the exact right thing. And don't beat yourself up for that, because that's ridiculous.
Outstanding.
Yeah. So don't that whoever that person is that told you that, don't ever have another conversation with them in your life. That's the best coach I can give. That's a waste of your time, man.
He's a friend of mine.
Not any longer. He's not a very good. Yes, I'm saying to get rid of. He's not a very good friend. Like who would say that? Like, oh, you ain't nothing. You haven't done it. Well, who's this idiot? Why does he?
I won't hire him. I won't hire him.
Good Lord, no, you don't hire him. Goodness gracious.
Right.
All right. Last question. What's one idea Cleaning Nation can put into practice right away? Something super easy to implement. Doesn't have to be a big idea. Just something that right away they can implement and maybe get a little bit of value for their business or their lives.
Keep at it.
That, you know what?
Keep at it.
It's only 3 words, but that's some of the best advice I think I've heard. And I coach my one-on-one clients that all the time. You fail when you give up. Until then, we're just in process. All right, Lamories, I really appreciate you for being on the show. Thanks for sharing your passion, your experience. I appreciate you. I know that Cleaning Nation appreciates you. Cleaning Nation, if you want to check out Lamories' show notes page and get everything you need to grow your cleaning company, it is all at www.growmycleaningcompany.com. Go there right now. Check it out. I'll see you there.
Congratulations! You are now 16% smarter. Still can't get enough cleaning goodness? Go to www.growmycleaningcompany.com for more of the good stuff. Ever want to be rich and famous? Owners of cleaning companies as well as industry experts can apply to be featured on the show by emailing our producer Natalie at support@growmycleaningcompany.com. Until then, don't miss out on all the latest cleaning industry lovin' at www.growmycleaningcompany.com. Check it out now.